Greetings and salutations. It is Conversations with Cornelius, and I'm one of your hosts. And we have so many things going on today. First of all, we have a real producer, her child, who's behind the camera, and we are so grateful for that. I'm talking about a real producer. Then we have her lovely mother, who is accomplished in so many areas. I met her in all the professional settings. Been asking her for like 2 years, Alethia, let's podcast. Alethia, let's podcast. Apparently, I guess I have arisen on her priority list.
There you go. There you go.
Can we say it that way, lady? Alethia, welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius. Today, we're going to be talking about the goodness in grief. And we have with us today Truth Therapy Inc., marriage and family therapist. And here's what I love about her, certified life coach. So for you, the listening audience, that you're coming in, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, ask a few questions. And then in the event you do need her services, which are not free, I'm going to throw that out
That's
there.
right.
That's a service. That's a service. I will say it again. I know y'all Baptist folk get y'all shining out together and y'all always think we should do things for free. She has a service that is definitely needed, especially on this side of COVID, before COVID, but now the African American church and the community, can talk about mental health in a more robust way. So, late Alethia, she's been a challenge to me, y'all, on these flowery and eulogistic introductions. So, Alethia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Speak up, girl. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up.
Thank you so much for having me.
There you
And
go.
yes, it has been 2 years. And no, it's just been crazy.
What's been crazy? What's
It's
been
just
crazy?
life. Life has been lifing, and school has been schooling.
And what
So,
else?
I mean, it's business and all of those things. But I didn't forget.
What? So you didn't forget?
I did not. I did not.
Forgetting? What does that fall on the mental spectrum?
I don't
Or
know.
remembering and all of that stuff?
I didn't forget.
You didn't forget. She has a wonderful book. Before we get into our just, shooting the breeze, the Grief Recovery Handbook. Tell me more about what that book did for your life in some spaces. Later, we'll
Sure.
talk about it.
Sure. So the Grief Recovery Handbook was a book that I was introduced to
All
while
right.
I was matriculating through my program at Lipscomb, Marriage and Family
Okay.
Therapy
Okay.
Program.
David
And-
Lipscomb.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. So it basically gives you step by step how to process grief. It's a different perspective on it. Well, not just grief of losing someone, but just loss in general, because you can grieve more than just a person, right? And so there's a different perspective. There is leaning into whatever your feelings are and
Mhm.
emotions are surrounding grief. Because I can't tell you how to grieve. You can't tell me how to grieve, because the journey is different for each person.
It's very much different in church. Let me ask you. I know you, Virginia. I was just in your state the last few weeks. I went to Hampton, of course.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I go to
Okay.
Hampton to the conference.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it,
Okay.
and of course,
Uh-huh.
everybody was there, and
Uh-huh.
so I saw some familiar faces.
Oh.
It was wonderful. But I went to Petersburg, Croker
Yeah.
Spot, the Croker Spot.
Yeah. That's actually where my daughter went to school, in Petersburg.
Okay.
Mhm. So,
She
yeah,
looked
Kroger.
up the Kroger spot. It was like all this abundance of food. I was like, oh my God, I have to eat all of this. And they just kept bringing out food. So
It
if
was
anybody's
wonderful.
ever in Kroger spot, I'm giving you a shout out. If you're ever in Petersburg, Virginia, go to the Kroger spot. It was delicious. It was really delicious. Then I had to go back to a part in Virginia. Oh, was it Martinsville? It was a very rural place on the North
Northern Virginia.
Carolina. No, in the southern part of Virginia.
Okay.
North Carolina border, but I was there, and then I'll be back in North Carolina, which I know you had some roots there because your oldest went to
Yes.
A&T. Shout out to A&T.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Graduated.
we're
Praise
grateful.
God.
We're grateful for that. Listen, audience, I know y'all are coming in. There's a few of y'all on here. If you have any questions for this lovely lady, and she is lovely and a lady, and we're grateful for all of those things. And we're going to get into grief shortly. But if you have any questions, please feel free to pull them up, put them in the chat. We will answer them as soon as possible when we get to them. All right. Tell us grief. Oh, tell us this. The grieving process, as complicated as it is, what has been your experience in our context while we do it incorrectly?
In our context,
Yeah,
I think
ours. I
right,
said ours.
ours.
Can I do that? Is
Yeah,
it okay?
hey,
May I?
yes,
We do
yes.
it. We do. We handle it. We mishandle grief.
Right. Well, I mean, what is the model that we have had on how to grieve? I mean, it's typically in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily therapeutic based.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we tell people how they're supposed to grieve, how they're supposed to mourn, and oftentimes it's not what that person wants to do. It's not what that person how that person wants to go through their journey and their process, but they don't know any other way, and so um, they just lean into what they've been socialized to do. And I think oftentimes we take away a person's right to be authentic in their journey of grief, right? Because every person's journey is different, every person's perspective is different. Some people don't want the chicken, right? After something happens, right? Or the visit, right? So then if they don't want that, then we should honor a person's feelings. But we don't talk about grief enough, and we don't ask people what it is that they need and honor whatever it is that they ask, because they can say, I'm good, I'll let you know. But then, we're taught to, continue to show up, continue to do X, Y, and Z. And,
Mm-hmm.
you're not honoring a person's requests. And so we take away a person's right to actually grieve authentically or mourn authentically.
Michael Angelo Clark, thank you for tuning in. Terry Grayson, Kathy Beach, I need y'all to like and share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On Facebook, I suppose. How to handle grief of unrealized vocational goals and dreams. Interesting, Michelangelo. I like that question. I really like that question. How to handle the grief of unrealized vocational goals and dreams.
So,
And I hate to put you on the spot so early, but you have some people that's watching and want some questions.
Yeah.
But let me pause and say this. Hey, folks, this is not for free.
Yeah, I give a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. This is but hey, at some point, I need you to go to the website, www.therapyinc.com, and get your sessions. Yeah. But go ahead.
So when we think about grief and loss, typically we lean into the grief or loss of a person, but it's the grief of losing something, right? Something.
Okay.
Whether it could be a potential job, like you could have a aspiration to work for, let's say, a particular company, right? And you've done all the work so that you can be prepared, right, for achieving that goal. And then you go to the interview, it goes well, but then you don't get the job. So that's hurtful. That's painful. That's a loss.
Very, right, very painful.
Or you can be on your job for, let's say, 10, 15 years, and all of a sudden you're let go abruptly. That's a loss, right? Loss of position. Relationships, you can go navigate a divorce. You can break up from a relationship. That's
very
a loss there.
So. Very much well. So.
Also, when you think about those who are navigating terminal illnesses, right? The healing process, you may lose some of your independence or your ability to do what was once was. That's a loss.
Very much so.
Yeah. So when it comes to the grief of a vocational loss, I think it's what you said, vocational.
Yeah, it's what Michelangelo, who's like vocational loss. Yeah.
So
and dreams.
Dreams. Yeah. So I think honestly, when I have clients come to me, we walk through all the stages of grief. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Dealing with, of course, there's a denial. That's one.
Yeah, that's the first
Like this
stage,
really
right?
didn't right. It
It
is.
is
It
the
is.
5 stages of grief,
Hmm.
and that's something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the denial. This didn't really happen. Like, are
Hmm.
you kidding me? And then you transition to anger, being angry. Think about all that you poured into whatever whatever job that you had, whatever investments that you've made in it, and you no longer have it, right? Or maybe there was a abrupt shift in the job, and you no longer have it, because you
Right.
can be in your dream job and then
Hmm.
abruptly. So then there's the bargaining. What could I have done differently? I coulda, shoulda,
The
woulda.
bargaining. That's
Right.
stage three. Is that stage
Hmm.
three?
It is
So it's
stage three.
is denial, anger, bargaining.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then oftentimes I encourage clients not to sit in that bargaining stage.
Don't sit in it.
Don't sit in it.
But
If you
that's
sit,
not part of the process?
it is. But when I say don't sit,
Okay.
you
Okay.
can honor your feelings in the moment surrounding it,
That's good.
right? Honor your feelings. I never say dismiss what you're feeling. Whatever
Uh
you're
huh.
feeling in the moment, it's coming up for a reason.
Uh huh.
So don't deny it,
Right.
which oftentimes within our culture, sometimes we want to suppress our feelings and emotions and say, I've heard suck it up
Or be strong.
and suck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
those
is
are very damaging phrases. And so we should avoid using them, because it seems as if we are being dismissive to what that person may be feeling in that moment.
you say a lot. We have some questions, and people will have some questions too.
Okay.
Hold on, Sister Kathy Beach. We'll get to your question. After that, we'll do another promo for Therapy Inc. Because or Truth
Truth
Therapy
therapy.
Inc. Yeah. Honor your feelings,
Absolutely.
but don't sit in it.
Mhm.
How does that work? I'm honestly, how does that work? How do I
Absolutely.
honor my feelings or feelings?
Mhm.
But you tell me now, don't sit in it. But
Absolutely. So, on the journey of healing from lost,
hmm,
right? You honor where you are, but you sometimes have to put boundaries around
hmm,
um, what it is that you're experiencing,
hmm,
right? So, yes, the loss happened. I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. All of those things,
hmm,
right? A person may feel
hmm,
while they're grieving. Yes, honor those feelings as they come up,
hmm.
right? Honor those feelings. But that's not something that you can sit in all day long, because is that functioning well for you to sit there all day long? You can
Mm.
honor your feelings, right? And put boundaries around it. When I was navigating loss, a lot of sadness came up for me, right? And I felt sad all day long. However,
However,
I got stuff to do,
you
right? You
do.
have you have things to do, and sitting in that did not function well. So when you look at behavior and things that you do, is it functioning well for you? If it's not functioning well, then you may reconsider doing something different. So I honored my feelings
Hmm.
when sadness met me in the morning. Okay, sadness, I see you there. I see you. You're gonna have your moment, right?
Hmm.
But then I have to, navigate my day. So I didn't dismiss the feeling and emotion I had. I honored it, but I also knew that
You
I
can
had
sit
to,
in it.
right, I could not sit in it all day, because it wouldn't have been productive for me.
Got you. Got you. Kathy Beach. Good morning to you, Kathy Beach. She says, "How do you handle grief of church hurt?" Oh my God, Kathy, that's a unload. Kathy, that's a power packed question.
Yeah, it is a power pack
It
question,
is
which requires some one-on-one
right, and
one-on-one
then you do right.
unpacking,
Hmm.
because sometimes, and I have worked with clients with church hurt. I've navigated church hurt myself. Oftentimes I think that the hurt or the pain comes when we have unrealistic expectations, right?
Say that again. The pain
Unrealistic,
comes when we have what?
unrealistic expectations,
My.
whether it's of church leaders, because that's typically where it is, or maybe the pastor. We're expecting them to be a certain thing, and if they're not, then there could be a an offense, or maybe
Okay. I
you
love
know,
it. I
yeah.
love it.
However, when you look at whatever the issue is that you have been hurt,
Uh-huh.
deal with it. And when I say deal with it, talk about how you honestly feel about what happened. Also, consider the fact of the other person, of whoever,
The offender?
the offender. Yes, consider their perspective, right?
I
Yeah, I
have to
know
do
we
that.
don't. Yes, you have
What
to.
what scripture is that? What show me in the Bible?
It's healthy for you to consider, yes, I'm hurt, I'm angry.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but we need to check ourselves and make sure that we didn't have an unrealistic expectation of that person, right? What did their behavior, what do I think they were trying to communicate to me? Because behavior, words, all of that is communication. So maybe this person was trying to communicate X, and you didn't receive it well. Well, did you have a conversation with that person one on one and say, "Hey, when you did this, this hurt me, or this bothered me"? Oftentimes we want to take offense to something that has happened, but we don't want to have a conversation with the offender. And according to scripture,
If you
if
have
we
an
are
alt,
offended,
yeah,
right, we are
go
to go to that person
yeah.
one on one, right, and have that conversation. But we don't want to sometimes. And I'm not saying this in your case. What's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy. I'm not saying this in your case, but sometimes we don't want to have those conversations. We get angry, we get disappointed, and then we'll walk off.
Right.
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 And we don't have those conversations. I think sitting down with that person, whomever hurt you, and having a conversation about how you feel to get their perspective of the situation will, help in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
But having those conversations, and then there's some additional unpacking,
Right.
101,
Right.
that definitely you should explore.
Have to explore that.
You have to.
Because the trauma behind that
Right.
experience is I can't say everlasting, but it's ongoing. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I got you. So listen, folks, if you need to tap into some family and marriage therapy, which we all do, go to Truth Therapy Inc. Here it is, y'all. Truth Therapy Inc. Just go to the website. Somebody said they wanted to go to your website here on social media earlier. Somebody said they was gonna go check it out. So hey.
Okay, awesome. And I do. I know that you said family and marriage and couples. I also see individuals.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
Sometimes just seeing marriage therapists, they just think I.
Oh, you got to do them
support,
together. Okay.
Couples, but I do the entire system.
Wonderful. And in the event somebody needs marriage counseling before, during, etc., you do provide that as well.
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got you. Yes. So you tell me about the life coaching path. What made you become a life coach? Because here's what I understand. Therapy works from your present to your past, back to your present. That's what I see life. But life coaching is your present to your future. So now you're well-rounded. You have this, I hate to say it, two faces. One that looks in one direction and one that looks in another one.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the life coaching. And I know you and I had planned to talk about something else, but it flows the way it flows. Yes. And y'all go to Truth Therapy Inc. So tell me about life coaching.
So life coaching is something that I have just started navigating. I kind of one of the reasons why I chose to lean into that path as well is to support a wider spectrum of people. With me being a marriage and family therapist, I can only practice here in Tennessee.
Hmm.
With the life coaching, I can offer actually, sessions like parenting sessions,
Mhm.
marriage boot camp. I can do that and have a little more flexibility than with therapy and how my focus. So working with clients and pushing them, seeing where they are starting and where they potentially want to go, I enjoy that. I enjoy
Much
that,
more.
but I'm able to reach a wider audience so I can serve anyone in the country with life coaching.
Wonderful. Is that under Truth Therapy Inc. as well?
It is.
Also, Truth Therapy Inc. is life coaching and therapy.
It is.
Can you do both at the same time? I don't
No.
know.
No, so there's strategic boundaries that are there.
So if I came to you as client for therapy, and I was like, I'm ready to be in the life coaching class, you would.
So that's a different
Okay.
tier.
Okay. People need to
Cost
know
and
that.
focus.
Right.
Right. So there is a curriculum with life coaching, of course.
Of course.
Sitting down with your goals. I do make it clear that this is not a therapy session. If I see and identify that there are some trauma in some areas that need to be worked on, then I will refer them. If they're in Tennessee, of course, I can't offer them therapy services because I have them as a
Life
client.
coachee.
Right. I can't double dip like that.
Okay.
However, I would, refer them to someone in their state or here in Tennessee.
Got you. Now, before we get on with the show, thank you, Stephen Woodson. Thank you, Lakeisha Frierson. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Kathy Beach, for being on with us today. It's Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host with, I'm gotta say it. She has penalized me later. Lady A, okay? So we're gonna get through that. Lady A has social media platforms, and we want to make sure her social media platforms get talked about today so we can follow you on social media. And I know that at some point on your social media platform, we can sow into your ministry and your profession because this is a service that you offer, right? So tell us just a few social media platforms. I think I follow you on everything, but
yeah,
I follow you, but I need y'all to follow her. So where can we follow you on social media?
Yes. So thank you so much for that. So I am on Facebook, Alethia Faison, Alethia Faison.
Okay.
On Twitter, I am Alethia_J. On Instagram, I am Alethia J Faison 78, and on TikTok, I am Alethia J as well.
Okay. So we just need to get you on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. And I know I catch the Monday. Is it Monday? When do you come?
Yes, the Monday check-in.
Monday check-ins. Yeah. So that we appreciate that. Diving deeper. I know we had discussed something else, y'all, but I living in the moment, understanding the awareness of the situation and the discussion. I'm loving it. Therapy became real for you when?
Great question.
She's like, great question.
So believe it or not, the reason why I leaned into therapy was because of one of my spiritual mother.
Mm-hmm.
My father passed away when I was 20 years old. At 20, I didn't know how to deal with grief.
Right.
I just knew that my dad passed away and I was angry. Well, it wasn't until we moved here to Tennessee that I began to really struggle with the loss. So that was probably about 14 years after my dad passed. But my behaviors were indicating that I needed to process the loss of my father. So I started therapy actually here when I moved here.
Okay.
And it made a huge difference in my relationship with my children and at that time my husband. It helped me to understand that it was okay to feel what I was feeling. There was nothing
Please
wrong.
don't say that.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, that's like, don't do that. Culturally,
Yeah,
we have been socialized to not explore feelings. So that of course weighs on our mental health,
It
cognitive
does.
behavioral therapy.
It
I'm
does.
big in CBT. I'm very big
I am
in
a CBT therapist.
listen at you. Your feelings create your thoughts, and you and actions and attitudes and etc. So you literally, move to a new place, which is lost. I mean, coming from Virginia, y'all don't have any family down here, right?
Mm-mm.
Like nobody,
Nobody.
no granny, no auntie, no cousin, no play
Absolutely.
cousin.
Well, not here in
Right,
Tennessee,
that's what I'm saying.
but my brother.
Okay,
I have two brothers. Older brother lives in Alabama, and so
listen
I
at you. You
was.
said it's so country, Alabama,
Well, I am from the country.
Virginia. We don't consider Virginia country.
What?
From Tennessee, we don't. We really don't.
Okay,
We,
so I think we just got a Walmart like maybe 15 years ago.
where y'all from?
Yeah, Franklin, Virginia.
Franklin, Virginia. So that's
Southampton County.
okay. Well, help me
It's
geographically.
it's actually it's not too far from North Carolina. We're about maybe 5-8 miles from the state line. Uh-huh. Southampton
Wow.
County. Absolutely.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
that's country.
Wow. Wow. As
Oh yeah, Nat Turner.
did y'all close to him?
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was from.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I can make the historical connection because I'm thinking when I think of Virginia, of course, you know what I think initially, and I don't think of y'all to be y'all are Southerners.
Yeah.
Y'all are
Mhm.
below the Mason Dixon line,
Mhm.
but Virginia's like that. I guess that swing state. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by swing?
Y'all so close to the north to us Southerners that y'all could be Northerners. But then when you actualize it and put it in perspective, now y'all just as Southern as us.
Absolutely.
It is so.
Yes, absolutely.
So grief and loss. I know we didn't want to get off subject, but I'm
Uh-huh.
loving this conversation. And oh my gosh, I'm tripping because you said Alabama. Like, oh my God, Alethia's country.
Yes.
You're a country girl.
I
You
am.
are a country girl at
Yes.
heart, born
Yeah.
and bred.
Oh my God. My grandmother had a farm and I used to work on her farm. My uncle had a
Wait, I don't. Them hands don't look like they
Okay,
farm
so
hands.
this is when I was a little girl.
Okay, you
Grown
ain't
woman now.
shuck no corn,
Actually, my dad
pop
had,
no peas.
yes, I did. My dad
What
had
did
a
you know
garden.
about that?
I do. My dad, he used to fish and hunt. So everything that we got was fresh because he had a garden as well. So those are the memories that I have of my father spending out with him in the garden.
Do you still have a green thumb?
You know what? I left it alone. I haven't picked it up since he passed.
I hate to ask why questions. And when I was going through my life coaching, I'm certified under the National Association of Christian Counselors. I'm gonna throw this plug in, and I hope you're one of the producers getting some of this footage through for your social media handles because we want that on there. I learned this: pastoring is great, but sometimes I don't have the toolkit to be counselor. Especially when you catch me after I'm coming off a high. And I tell a lot of pastors, I'm not saying you don't care, but you don't have the stillness sometimes in our life to literally walk people through counseling. Like you said, spending time with people through the process. Let me go get some counseling from my pastor. I'm not knocking us. I'm being transparent like Jesus. That can be very damaging because you catching me off a high and I'm really not listening. I'm retelling you the sermon that you just heard 26 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
So it can be it's a gray area for me now. And I'll share some more later on another podcast because I think we're gonna have us a good little time podcast. but I mean I need some help. You know, people. I'm going into my pastor for counseling. I mean, you can go get some good advice, but to sit down and work through, like what you said, processing some of those things, not only processing those things, but helping people validate their feelings. Uh, Sometimes that time with your shepherd might, you could spend some other time with some other people who can really help you. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, my position on that is I think that we have to be very cautious in the faith based community to label counseling unless you've been clinically trained and you know how to walk a person through.
Uh-huh.
So, giving spiritual guidance, yes. And so, and that's one of the unrealistic expectations I think that some of the parishioners have, that your pastor or the leader is going to walk you through, and you have a session with them every week
Mhm.
or every 2 weeks, and that is overwhelming because you're supposed to shepherd the people, spend time with God. So that's not the right setting for that. So definitely
Thank you, Pastor
referring
Marable.
out
Thank you.
referring out to a licensed
Mm.
therapist who is trained to walk someone through whatever it is, loss, depression, whatever it is, having someone who is clinically trained. Because if you're not clinically trained, you could take on something that is overwhelming to you, and you could miss
You're right.
things that are red flags,
Of
and
course.
require additional services.
Mm.
I can't do everything. I do have to make some referrals out if it's a case that is
Right.
greater than my capacity of expertise.
Gotcha.
So,
That's good. We agree, huh? Fist bump?
yes.
We agree. Listen, y'all. Truth Therapy Inc. You have to go there. www.truththerapyinc.com. Listen, Pastor Marable, we need to bring her to all of our association and state events. I mean, because I believe in sowing into the life of people who understand me. I just do. I'm not. This is the privilege of being Alpha Kappa Alpha. This is the privilege of being Baptist. Did you grow
Yeah,
up in the Baptist church?
I did.
What?
Born and raised, was a clerk in the church.
Oh Lord, you was a church clerk.
I was
Was
a
you the
church.
mean one?
Absolutely not. I
Oh
mean,
no, no, no,
look at
not
his
mean,
face. I
not
can be
mean. What's the
mean.
word what's the word we need to use, lady, like little lady A? I'm trying to think. Not mean, incorrigible. Asinine. Was you that one?
Absolutely not. I was kind and sweet, and
Listen, I got you.
yes, I did that.
Look, Dr. Marable, who's is on. Thank you for being on with us, Dr. Marable, today. He said we can do that because Dr. Marable, I'm at the place now where I want to have relationships with therapists because I, as the shepherd, sometimes, even though I have some skill sets, I don't have time to counsel. I can begin a process with you, but what you need time with a person
Mhm.
who ain't always on the go.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah,
And that's
so
so wise of you to acknowledge that, because a lot of faith-based leaders will not acknowledge that.
I'm acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging it to the 19th power today.
Yeah,
And I'm uh sharing with people everywhere I go to do mental health workshops for churches.
absolutely.
Sometimes the opening statement is, "Hey, y'all pastors, sometimes we the last person
Mhm.
people need to see, especially after Sunday morning when I'm coming off a high.
Yeah,
I'm the amygdala, everything that's happening up here is this somewhere totally. It's
absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
and here you come in my office crying. I'm just gonna keep preaching.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm sorry to be, get conversational in my tone, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But in my former role, I think that after
You say in your former role. Okay.
I think what I have observed is
Okay.
after the pastor has preached. That's
Uh-huh.
why it's important to have a really good team,
Hmm.
right? Pastor need to, some self-care. Needs to
What's that? Please tell me. Please tell me what that is.
so
Self-care for us is another revival, is another exploit.
Mhm.
Maintenance for us is another sermon we have to prepare. You're so right
Yeah.
that we have not taken care of ourselves because we were so driven, or still so driven, that Uh, it's almost humbling. And I just be
Mm,
kind.
mm,
It's humbling to know that you're falling apart and holding it up for everybody else.
yeah.
So that's presumably that's what you think, but you're really not.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in your role, we go down that road another day. We were gonna talk about something else, y'all. Like really,
Yeah.
but Alethea, we got this little bond going, and I'm loving it. Like I'm loving it. I know your producer's like, and I want to close on this. Any questions? Any more questions? Let me see. Somebody said Terrence Davis said wisdom. Terrence Davis. In the next United Methodist function, we need to y'all need to bring her. Bring her to the next United Methodist function. Uh, we got the Baptist covered, United Methodist. Any Kojic on here? Kojic in the house. Kojic. Any Kojic? Any Kojic? I'm looking. Kojic. Any non-denominational. We need to bring her because we need to sow into you. I mean, this is your gift to us. God has gifted you and graced you because a gift is a gift, but it has to be cultivated. And through your experiences, all things working together for the good of those who love the Lord
Absolutely.
and are called according to his purpose. So Lakeisha Frierson, they said, yes, sir. Don't say yes, sir, Doc, and don't do it. I'm watching you. Lakeisha Frierson says, listen, pastors need self-care. We do.
Absolutely.
We do. Do you see any pastors? I mean, as patients, you can't say their names, I know, but
Well, let me say this. I am currently pursuing my doctorate in marriage and family therapy. And a topic that I have,
so you're pursuing a doctorate.
I am. I am. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
um,
That's great.
faith-based communities,
Mhm.
right? The Black church specifically, the toxic ideology that has prevented us from being able to heal.
Slow down, slow down. You know how to chew. Ask your daughter, it's chew time. Like this is what you just said. Then what you just said was a mic drop. Somebody's calling me from Kentucky. Uh, preventing us from healing.
Some of those ideologies that
The
we've grown up.
toxic ideologies. Everybody put that in the chat. Toxic ideology. They said they need your information. www.truththerapyinc.com. Terrence, www.truththerapyinc.com. www.truththerapyinc.com, Terrence, and I'll send it to you. The toxic ideologies that prevent us from healing.
Yes.
Lady
Spiritually,
Faith, you
emotional.
think we not gonna have to do a part 2 and a part 3 and a 4? That's a whole book.
I'm doing a lot of research on it because I do want to bring this information to the Black church so that we can do better. Do better.
Mm. Did y'all hear that, cousin? You see that? She came on. Thank you for being with us, Pastor Cedric, whose anniversary is next month. Listen, Lakeisha Frierson said, yes. Come on, Lady A. Toxic ideology. See, that ain't ready for you. Look, they want the smoke. They want the tea there. They want the sanctified version. She said, come on. Listen, y'all. Listen, that comes in her master class, right? That's what that comes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we put together that master class because that would be a good thing. Look, it must be confirmation. Ooh,
Y'all can't see my daughter is my producer, but she
the
over here making.
producer in here
Yeah,
is really going by. She finna say, look, help us,
she's
Pastor.
pushing me and stretching me.
Pastor, listen, please share my information with her, Pastor Marable. I will. Like a lot of things that happen. Who is it? Steve Berry. Wow.
And you can put my number in the
I watched my
chat.
dad go through different emotions as a preacher. Pastor definitely needs somebody to talk to. You sure did, Barry. And y'all can call. Listen, Alethea, I can't. It's hard for me not to say all the other adjectives.
You know what? Whatever makes you feel comfortable.
There you go. Can I validate? I just can't sit in it, huh? Validate that. Validate that.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Listen, she said, come on with these toxic ideologies. Pastor Seti, I need you to engage as well. Thank you for everybody that's engaged. I'm going to share her information again. www.truththerapyinc.com. We need to get Alethea, Lady A, on the platform. She's a jewel to the body of Christ. She's one of us, and this is her season. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. This is her
You were
season.
kind.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm just being
Yes,
me.
you're
I'm
kind.
country like you. You said I'm kind of country like you. I would just have. So Pastor City P, Lakeisha, Jerry Marable, Steve Berry, Terrence Davis, Jane, Katie. Let's push her toward this masterclass. Hey, brother Pendergrass, James Davis, members here. Lucy Arrington, all the way from Birmingham, Alabama's in the house. All
It's
right.
near my brother. He's in Moody, Alabama.
I ain't never heard of that.
It's
Is
little
it a
town.
stoplight? One.
They have like 5.
Oh, they've upgraded.
Uh-huh.
No internet service. Can you hear me now? Drop calls.
Now,
Possibly.
I do struggle with it. But anyway, I ain't
Okay.
gonna call him out like that.
But yeah, we definitely gonna get her back, y'all. We want her. This is her debut on my show, but we want to make sure her show gets off the ground, because with her podcast, with her expertise, with her books that are forthcoming,
Absolutely.
with her master class that's forthcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, forthcoming.
Absolutely.
Forthcoming.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I received that, and yes, it
Yeah,
is.
teaching us pastors how to be better equipped to counsel. That's forthcoming. That's a class strictly for us, church people. We got to have. I mean, I could better receive it from you, who understands the toxic ideologies of the culture in which we shout and shaking. Can I just be just shout and shake
and roll around?
Yeah, but you're not shaped there. You shout and shake there, but you're not shaped there. And what's shaped is more shouting and shaking, which becomes more toxic. But I'm not gonna preach today. Not gonna do it.
Right.
Not gonna do it. Cammie Jones, shout out to Cammie Jones from Baltimore, Maryland. Cammie Jones, you have to get her to Baltimore. Got to. All right, we're gonna get off of here. We was gonna talk about something else, but I see we didn't get to it. But anyway, your last say. Tell us more about who you are and what you foresee us becoming as people.
So I am, Alethia, your favorite marriage and family therapist. Let me say that.
I love the way you say that.
Because I am.
Your favorite.
Favorite. That is my command that I teach on Mondays when I do the check-in. I am speaking that, right? That is, I'm commanding that, because I am. I enjoy doing the work within the faith-based community. I do.
There's nothing like it, is it?
No, it's nothing like it. But there is a lot of healing that needs to take place within, and recognizing that. Like, I appreciate you as a leader, as a pastor, introducing this to your congregation, and on this platform, sharing about the need. Like, we need more of you, more pastors like you. And my pastor as well. We just launched our mental health ministry at our church.
Gotta have it.
I mean, it's absolutely necessary.
Just as important as Sunday school.
Absolutely.
And the praise team. Like, you have to have that now because of the toxic ideologies.
Right. And taking away that narrative that, you can't do both, have Jesus and a therapist. That's absolutely incorrect. I have Jesus and I have my therapist. I'm a therapist who has a therapist.
And a coach who has a coach.
Absolutely. I am not greater because of
a mentor.
Absolutely. And I do have one of those as well.
Wonderful. Well, listen, y'all, we're out of time, but not out of talk. I thank you for tuning into Conversations with Cornelius. But on Monday, are you gonna do your Monday check-in?
Monday check-in at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Go to the AlethiaJ Faison Facebook page only, or
also on Instagram. So AlethiaJ Faison 78 on Instagram.
Gotcha, y'all. The woman is articulate. She knows. She's working on her doctorate. Wonderful. So she has so much to do. And guess what? She's a gift to us. Let's make sure we utilize her gifts, her talents. This is our calling. And we want to be so into your life. Usually I end with people giving a cash app, but we ain't got to do that today. I'll let y'all go on her personal page and do all that stuff. So people can sow. People do sow. You know what I'm saying? All right, when we going to hit this masterclass off the ground? I'm calling her out, y'all.
I have to sit down with my producer, and
it's not gonna be hard. You know that, right?
oh, absolutely.
That's what's not gonna be hard.
Right. Absolutely.
This is not gonna be hard. Send the Zoom link out. We'll pay. I'm the first to be in the class or whatever he is teaching me how to be, more therapeutic in my approach to pastoring. Not preachery, but therapeutic.
Preachery.
Yeah, it's like we preachers make up a word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm serious. And then like just all these other caveats that we have in the toxic culture. You're going to be a blessing, and I'm grateful that you're on today.
Thank you so much for allowing me to.
You on, girl? It's when we gonna do another show, because we got to talk about toxic ideologies, and it was something else you said. Oh, validating your feelings, sitting in your emotions.
You tell me.
Or you can do. I don't know. Check with your producer.
Okay, yes, I will check with my producer slash administrative assistant
right.
manager.
Right. Well, listen, thank y'all for tuning in to Conversations with Cornelius. AletheaJ Faison, Truth Therapy Inc. Please go your favorite. Let me stress that.
Absolutely.
Favorite. And as we move forward, Dr. Marable, Dr. Terrence, and all the other preachers on here, next summer, she needs to be booked at all our conventions and conferences. We just need to make sure she gets, we the plug. Can we say, can I be hood a little bit? You sure? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you should. Charles Clay Brooks, Cammy. Y'all get her, Cammy, bring her to Baltimore. If not, get ready for that masterclass. Can we prophesy and say in the spring of 2024? Or was that too soon? I heard the voice. I heard another voice.
Yeah, I was thinking before the end of the year.
Are you serious?
I've been working on some things.
And you put your price package together. Amen.
Yes, absolutely.
Amen. It's not for hey. The only thing we can own is our trials and our struggles. I was reading a book. What book are you reading? As we get now, what's your favorite book you're reading?
So right now, I don't have any personal reading. All of it is geared towards my program.
Okay.
Right. So that's 27 books a week. But one of the books that I am rereading is Attached, and I don't remember the author, but I work with a lot of couples, and attachment styles are important. Like everybody needs to know what their attachment style. It will help you in relationships. That was free.
So that's what we can talk about next. Attachment style.
Attachment when it comes to relationships, because
we attach.
We don't relate well because we don't understand ourselves and why we do what we do.
Wow. Yeah, she's deep. Thank y'all. Until next time. Monday. What time Monday?
Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time.
Somebody said yes. Winter 2023. They said they expecting it.
Okay.